the concept is great. Overall, the concept is a pretty cool idea. You know,
What if they go to that building in Alaska that everybody lives in and they just start extending it, and that's the that's the project right there. They'll just keep making the building longer and longer and longer, and that's the social experiment.
Man, I
hey,
love that building. I want to go to Alaska just to go stay in that town that just lives in the one building.
No, thank you.
Imagine a world with no cars, no bikes, no skateboards. This beautiful place has a name, ladies and gentlemen, and it's called The Line. Beautiful place. They're building it. It's insane. If you haven't heard about it, it's literally going to be something refreshing. The future of urban living. You know? It's a new wonder for the world, ladies and gentlemen. That's literally what it says.
hey, am I investing into something right now? That I got to what's going on, man?
They're looking for investors.
Yeah, they just need another $90 trillion or whatever the hell it is.
So there's literally it's called The Line. It's literally a new way of living where there's no cars, zero emissions, right? No cars, no plane, no none of that shit. And it's literally pretty much 2 glass mirrors like this. And it runs like fucking miles across this desert. And it's supposed to have, it's 200 meters wide, 170, like 70 kilometers long.
Which is usually around half of what miles are. So just that's probably half of 170 is what 80 or something like that, or like 90
It's-
miles or something.
I know that 3.1 miles equals 5 kilometers.
Yeah. So like I said, it's like almost half.
Something like
Yeah. So
And it's 500 meters above sea level. I don't know if that makes a difference. Who cares? Whatever. That's not the whole
I
point.
know that this shit is supposed to be the height of the World Trade Center, which is nutty.
Bro, I don't even know
yes.
where, this is fucking crazy. The idea that, these guys, or this people are trying to fucking do. I like the idea
People's name
of
are
it.
and the people are NEOM, and they're backed by the
Neom.
Saudi government.
Yep.
Saudi is trying to diversify their portfolio, so to speak. They don't want to just have oil. They want to be in other sorts of retail and all this stuff like that. Residential. They want to like branch out and put their money in different places. So this is one of their ideas.
The
I
executive
mean,
director of all of it is Giles Pendleton. I believe that's how you say his name.
props to them for aiming high, but it's, to me, seems like a ridiculous plan. Maybe when you're thinking of building like a new way to form like communities and form cities and shit like that, maybe you should like I don't know, play test some of this. Maybe you should do it on a smaller scale. Why do you got to start with 170 kilometers for your super city that you're trying to build?
Yeah, it's going from the Gulf of the Red Sea all the way to Saudi Arabia. It's fucking long as shit.
So we're talking about a building that's as tall as the World Trade Center, long as hell, straight line, no cars, no airplanes, bicycles, not motor bicycles, but
No
you can have
bicycles at all. It's all
It's
gonna
supposed
be.
it's supposed to be for walking. It's supposed to
Everything's walking
promote walking.
distance.
Mhm.
Everything is walkable. Like everything. They have dike. The bottom layer is gonna be freight train, cargo trains.
Yeah, like the
There's
Hyperloop, basically.
Yeah, which we know how that turned out. And then the middle section is gonna be maintenance, repairs, all that stuff is gonna go on in the middle, and then the top of it is gonna be like the living section.
Tell me this doesn't sound like a video game environment. Like, like those dystopian shit, you're walking around in the bottom because you grew up in the slums. It's fucking Midgard, dude. It's just Final Fantasy VII is what they're trying to build here.
I'm a maintenance baby.
Is Snowpiercer? We're just building the dystopia is what we're trying to do here.
It's Midgar, yes. We gonna take down Sector 5 and shit, Sector 7. Nah. Listen. It sounds cool. I think it's stupid that they ain't gonna put no bicycles. I believe that should be
Because everything's in 5 minutes with everything is going to be in 5 minutes with where you're living at. So the grocery store, the books, the whatever the fuck, like.
So the job. So basically, if I work in A and I go down to B, my job's gonna be there. And C, then the grocery store is gonna be there, and it's gonna be cut off in sections like that. So every so-called community is gonna have the job and the food and everything.
Pretty
But
much.
there's a super fast train at the bottom that's gonna be able to take you from each end in the 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well,
20 minutes.
It also claimed that a lot of the flying car concepts, they were going to work those into this design as well. They were going to have like the helicopter pads where these quadcopter cars that they've designed, these self-driving quadcopter cars could land and take off and things like that too. The idea is cool. The idea is wild though, because I think that it is so early to try to pull some shit like this off, and we don't even have all the components working yet.
Yeah, I think the people who thought of this idea has been watching too much anime. That's something I could have seen in the probably of 20 animes that I got on the list right now.
I mean, it does sound like some upcoming like Cyberpunk DLC. Cyberpunk, the line.
I think somebody was watching too much Game of Thrones and they liked the wall. They really liked the wall.
Maybe they just can't come out and say that like the White Walkers are coming and this is the last line of defense.
I'm not gonna lie.
Outside of it is gonna be mirrors, and that shit just looks like the Halo game to me, like the way Halo was. Like,
well, I know what's that for. They basically reflecting the sun, so now they don't gotta run at a high temperature. They don't gotta run the ACs too up and stuff like that. I mean, look, the concept is good. The concept is dope.
They could probably turn it into like solar panels too. Like that might be where some of the renewable energy is coming from in this design that they're planning out.
I'm not gonna lie. If I knew there wasn't a price tag associated with it, because I know there's a price tag with it.
Do you know how much this is going to cost?
Those are estimated guesses.
It was estimated at $500 billion. Now it's estimated at $1 trillion.
For the entire thing?
Yeah. For the entire thing, $1 trillion.
I mean, that video you sent, that dude was saying it was like in the tens of trillions, 20 trillions, or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah. Those are crazy numbers.
But is it crazy? There's a lot being built. We're talking about
no.
We're talking about hyper trains, right? A whole floor. We talk about a whole floor of maintenance. So we talking about from what? So that's 80 something miles or whatever it is, because half of that, right? So let's be real, 80 something miles going across. So that whole third floor is maintenance. We're talking about people they gotta pay, things they gotta keep.
It's gonna have pools, lakes. It's gonna have all that.
This shit is in the middle of the desert too. We're not even. You need to think about like the water that they're gonna have to figure out for this area.
So the pipeline that they got to build to go get this water, the pipeline for the electricity, for the
infrastructure that they're gonna have to put in just to get this started in a mountainous region. I'm like, I don't see them. How do you get the materials there?
Didn't it say something crazy too? Like this community is going to launch in 2025 or 2030 or some shit like that?
Project. Just like China has an initiative, Saudi Arabia has this initiative to be at this spot by this year, and this is their big plan to do it.
Listen, if 2025 is the so-called year, and 2025 is when you will see the true infrastructure. It's when you be like, oh, they actually laid the pipes down.
Bro,
then you can believe it's probably being.
It looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. If I could afford to live there, I would try to live there.
The idea, the concepts, I think they're rad. I think it's super cool. I think this is probably some amount of this is the direction cities are going to go eventually. I just don't think we're there yet. And I don't understand why we're building it on hard mode in the middle of the damn desert when there's other places you could play test some shit like this. And you could do like these little testing technology tests.
It's definitely going to have a hierarchy though. It's going to have a hierarchy. It's going to be the bottom half, the upper half, you know what I mean? So
Tony hit it on the mark. How much is it gonna cost to live there?
Well, it's free, but you just have to go and you just got to sign up for 20 years as to be part of maintenance. And
That's
That's
crazy.
how they get you, right? Your little contract. Hey, look, you live here for free, but we need you to do this and this and this and this. They're probably gonna tell you to sell your soul, but everybody's gonna sign it though. They're not gonna read the full contract.
The
They're gonna
idea,
see a free rent. They're gonna be like, in an economy like this, he's gonna
Hey,
sign up.
listen, there's never no such thing as free. They're gonna make you work for it somehow, some way. There's
facts.
never no free.
Absolutely.
Man.
Somewhere
Mhm.
it's either gonna be carved out of your check, or somewhere along the line it'll be carved out for
Listen,
sure.
they're gonna carve out the time of your life. They're gonna carve time out.
They said year-round perfect climate. They're gonna have control of all
Nigga.
climate. It's gonna be
Control climate.
75 all day long in the desert. Bro, I'm not gonna lie though. This intrigues the shit out of me because it's like
Now, question: does this desert get any desert storms? Are there any crazy storms?
it's not gonna
happening
matter.
out
It's gonna be
there?
covered. The whole thing is gonna be. It's a line and it's gonna be covered up top. They can shut that shit down. Whatever. It don't matter.
No,
bro.
definitely, but it's gonna be made of glass, right? I'm just gonna be made of mirrors. So is that mirror gonna be built strong
Oh, that
enough
shit's
to
gonna be
withstand
strong. Yeah,
storms?
that's gonna be strong, bro. There's no way they're gonna think it fragile glass.
No, I
You
know,
what I mean?
but still, that's just a lot. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be an expensive. If it truly happens, it's gonna be one hell of an expensive project. And like Mateo said, it's dumb to start off on hard mode. There's literally resources, little places that you could try this stuff in. You could build little communities and be like, hey, if this shit could work on this type of scale, then what is it going to take to multiply to make it work on this scale?
For
And
sure.
that's all it is. Like, where's to me? To my whole thing is, for me, for a person that was investing, I want to be like, hey, where's the proof that you know this is going to work? Show me where you test this. Show me where you test and tried this, and it actually worked for 2 years, a year, whatever the case is, and then we could be like, all right, boom, we putting money in.
Just
But
like
if this is the only thing they have with blueprints and words, nah, man, that's too much of a risk.
I mean, you just think about the way New York works, and the way they're trying to design this is like they stood a bunch of skyscrapers side to side, and it's like you look at it and you're like, "Oh, cool. I work at a building and it just has 500 apartments." You know how much people you need just that section? How many people you're going to need running elevators, maintenance, all this shit that they're asking for on top of everything that they're adding? It just, for me, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're gonna make this shit a 90 miles Empire State Buildings? Yo, fucking Elijah Otis, the creator of the fucking elevators, gonna fucking make so much money in that place, bro. This guy's gonna fucking make a killing.
How the hell do you know the inventor of the elevator, dude? Good knowledge.
Well, hey, wait, when you work in the building long enough, you know who constructed those elevators. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That's
That's
crazy.
that's that building experience. I know exactly where you're coming
He still
from.
he still has the company. It's called Otis.
I mean,
It's like
the
they're
the entire plan falls apart if they can't get the hyperloop working.
Facts.
The entire thing. If they can't get that hyperloop working, there's no way any of this makes sense. How are you gonna get 90 miles away if you need to go to the other side of the line or something if the hyperloop has failed?
And if they can make the hyperloop work there, you can make that shit work anywhere else in the world.
I don't have faith that they're gonna make it work. I think they should stick to what works. Japan has bullet trains, shit like that. I think they should stick to what works. But they're trying to do some. Everything that they say has to be futuristic. Maglev trains.
AI design city structure.
That's the future, though. I mean, if it doesn't sound appealing or grabby, they're not gonna get investors. You know what I mean?
It's the future, but you gotta think about it. The future is never what what people truly think it is, right? Because for so long, in the 2000s, like early 2000s, and in the 90s, we were supposed to have flying cars and stuff like that. Not everything truly works that way. Everything is just slow moderations. It's one of those things where I know people like to they wanna be the first to do something and everything, but you have to just be realistic in these projects as well. That's all it is. I think the length of the project of of how the infrastructure is going to be is crazy. I think how high they want it to be is crazy. It's to me it's all about small portions. Now I love the idea of it's going to have its own pond inside the grass and you can walk around. I would love a bike. Just saying. I love those little things.
Facts.
climate control. I got you, Doe. I'm here for you, baby. Climate control and home next to groceries and the job. All that sounds great. But damn near 90 miles? Nah, fuck out of here. I'm sorry. It's just too much. It's just too much.
It's just I
That's
don't know.
all. But
I
the concept is great. Overall, the concept is a pretty cool idea. You know,
What if they go to that building in Alaska that everybody lives in and they just start extending it, and that's the project right there. They'll just keep making the building longer and longer and longer, and that's the social experiment.
Man, I
Hey.
love that building. I want to go to Alaska just to go stay in that town that just lives in the one building.
No, thank you.
no, thank you.
I
Where-
don't
where
want
we'll be
anything to do with that.
We'll be sitting around in the one hotel, and we'll be like, "You want to go to the bar, or what do you want to do?"
The bar. One person has control of the fucking jukebox in the back. They're not letting anybody else play.
Nah, it's a wrap. Matter of fact, they rush to get there after work. They're just right in there. Boom.
That's crazy.
Everybody hates children.
That's
He all,
beast.
he all brought it back.
I'm telling you.
He all brought it back.
All futuristic shit. But
Nah, it's dope. It's dope, though.
I must say, I am intrigued and I do want to go. I want to see it.
I'll watch the project.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of hope it succeeds because that's going to open up a lot for the rest of the world. You know what I mean? I want a Hyperloop train. Yeah. I want to be able to go to New York in 30 fucking minutes or so, or whatever the time frame they said they were going to give us. Bro, if I can avoid going on planes, that'd be perfect for me. I'll take a fucking Hyperloop trip real quick. I'm in and out. I come back in the same day. Oh, where were you? I was just in fucking New York getting the fucking bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm on my way back home.
Imagine right now, we all left our houses. We went to the Hyperloop, and we just met up in Denver. And we just spent Saturday in Denver. Then we all went back to our places.
But if that happens, the Hyperloop is not going to be a cheap trip. See,
No.
the planes will become the cheap trips completely all the way down,
In
and the Hyperloop become the prices of what planes are now.
In theory, the Hyperloop should be cheaper, just because the actual the cost to run it is lower. You're not. It's not the same level. I don't know. In theory, because it's not burning jet fuel, there's not all this risk associated. It should be cheaper.
I'll tell you, in theory, but in reality, the greed, is going to take over, and these people are going to charge.
They can hit me with a membership fee. I'll pay yearly. I'm going to use the fuck out of that shit. Oh,
You don't worry, Tony.
That's a good
you
concept.
This shit is Kickstarter. You could get your apartment now.
It needs to be already going. Nigga.
Go ahead, invest.
If they give me shares and it pops off, yeah, I might be the snow runner captain out here. All right, you gotta come to me.
You gotta get in now.
Nah, I'm good.
You gotta be a believer.
Ooh.
Hey, you need to get it now before they break ground. They break ground and this should start being built. Oh, nah, you late. Everything, all the shares are gonna go up.
Facts.